Hello again, everybody. I'm Brad Silbert for the Hamilton County Television Sports Show. Today we have the pleasure of sitting down and chatting with Hamilton Southeastern's new girls basketball coach, Brian Satterfield. Brian, we're just going to touch on this just a little bit, but following a guy like Coach Hupp, that's big shoes to fill.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, the fortunate thing for me being on the boys' side and with him on the girls' side, we had a great relationship. But the foundation that he's built here and everything that he's done, the tradition that he's had, having the All-Stars, winning the state championship, all that type of stuff, just makes the process for me stepping in so much easier.
Well, that's great. Well, let's talk about, you took over the team last spring. Obviously, you guys had a chance to get together this summer. And let's talk about how did summer practice and everything go?
It was good. I mean, any time you make that change, and especially coming off of COVID, just getting familiar with them. I mean, one thing was always to be able to get in here and watch practices and things of that sort. But with COVID, I mean, you tried to stay away from everybody, and other than wasn't even able to come to a lot of games. So other than coming to maybe 2 of the varsity games, I wasn't real familiar with the entire program. So that was probably the biggest thing for me, was coming in and just getting familiar with all the players within the program. It took me a while just to remember names, those types of things. But
I can understand.
But the best thing about it is, I mean, they've bought in, they've come in and they play hard, and it's just been a great environment. I mean, the kids just get out there and compete, and we had a good summer, getting out there, getting familiar with it. The one thing that we tried to do in the summer was we talk about getting out of their comfort zone, and I think that was the biggest thing that we tried to challenge them this off season, was trying to do some things. As we went back and watched tape a little bit, the one big area I thought that this group needed to get better at was to be able to take care of the basketball. So we tried to do some things here in the summer to get better at that, and they accepted the challenge.
Good. Well, let's talk about the team itself. You've got a great cast of not only returning starters from the team last year, but some pretty talented players who've got some pretty good varsity experience.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 4 starters coming back. Unfortunately, we've got the one bad news with Ryan Veely. I mean, she was the leading scorer last year, but tore ACL. So we're dealing with that. And, but she's still around, and she's trying to be a great leader. The other senior starter that we've got coming back is Michaela Henshaw. I mean, she's that leader on the team. I mean, she's the one that when I took the job over, she's the one that we had all the communication with, and she's been that communication piece for the coaches and the players, and being a double-digit scorer, and now she'll be a 3-year starter. I mean, she's been one that's been really good at the defensive end, but I love the way that she just gets up and down the floor.
What about the rest of the returning players?
The other returning starters, Olivia Brown. She's been out there. She's played varsity, along with Riley Mikuleski. Both of them have played since they were freshmen. Both of them started last year. And for I mean, she's going to be our floor leader. She gets out there and loves to defend, but she loves to push the basketball. And we're trying to get her just to be able to get out of there and be more in attack mode. The attack mode to create for others, but also for herself. And then Riley, she's the one that has really started to make great strides. I mean, one thing that, looking at some film and just looking at numbers, I think she struggled to shoot the ball last year, but one thing that she's really done and come out is been able to shoot the basketball well. And the other thing is being that two-way player, really working at things at the defensive end.
You've got some good new players coming in also this year. You seem to have a pretty talented crop there.
The one thing that we've, as a staff, love is the depth that we have, and I think that helps in terms of what you do in practice and all the competition and things of that sort. But yeah, we've got 3 other seniors that are going to be part of the roster: Zoe Bolding, Kaylee Scott, Gabby Lehman. And I mean, the one thing from Zoe is we love her size, but the way that she's running the floor. And then the other 2 seniors, they just give that steady impact and just do what you ask. And I mean, just great for the team camaraderie. Then for the juniors, we got 2 other juniors that are going to be there: Tegan Akers and Lauren. They both are ones that are going to come off and can bring what we need. Be able. Tegan's got so much better at being able to attack off the dribble, and then they both can shoot it, but that's I know Lauren's her specialty is being able to knock down threes. And the one thing that we had to talk about her for a second, we had this like a little elite mindset shirt, and one of the first few practices that we had here in the fall, we were going to do just on a weekly thing, whoever shows something that is going to come out of their comfort zone. We were out there just working on some things, and defense isn't her specialty, but she has really been focusing on and trying to get better at that. We went to a little shootout. She probably didn't hit a shot, but she really was working on the things that we were trying to focus on. And so we tossed her out that little shirt, and I think you could see the little light go on, so of what she can do, what she knows what she can do, but now the other things that she can bring to make our team special.
Kind of diversified herself.
Oh, yes. I mean, and you always want diversity. I mean, diversity amongst your team and diversity amongst your individuals, that always helps a team in general. And then we got 2 freshmen that are going to have a big part of what we're going to do. Maya Mikulewski, she is the one that's garnering a lot of attention, and there's reason for it. A lot of D1 schools, and initially she'll be in that starting lineup, and hopefully she continues to play like she is and maintain that. But I think she's been really good offensively, but the thing that we love about what she's been doing is trying to soak in everything, and especially get better at the defensive end, and again trying to get her out of that comfort zone in that area. And then Maine Hooks is the other freshman. She's just one that's going to come in and she does a great job with her footwork, great job using her body, and is going to be one of those persons to help fill up inside.
Well, as usual, regardless of whether the days was when you were on the boys' side or now switching over to the girls' side, in looking at the schedule you guys are up against this year, it's a tough schedule. Talk about what you got coming up this season.
Well, I think you need to go have a talk with Coach Self. It was a tough schedule, but then he keeps adding games that makes it even tougher. So, but I mean, that's great for the fact that if you look at just the schedule, if you just look at our sectional, it's loaded. Our sectional's loaded, and the depth and everything that's there. So, we need that to help get us prepared to play in that sectional. We've got to be ready to be able to compete every night. We can't have any letdowns. So that schedule is going to help us get ready for the most important part of the season.
Well, I look at the schedule now, and just starting next week with Columbus North at home, then over at Fishers for the tournament over there against Ben Davis and Center Grove. Franklin's an up-and-coming team. Brownsburg has always been good. Carmel. And it's just then 1st of December, Noblesville, which ought to be a real battle this year. That ought to be quite a schedule. But I totally agree. I see so many people who ask me. They'll say, "Well, why don't they play a little bit easier schedule?" And I said, most of the time when you talk to the coaches, they really believe that the tougher schedule builds character, and I think you believe the same.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the one thing. Early on we've got the one game during the middle of the week, which we picked up, and then right away, that was the one thing always on the boys' side. We'd always play that Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and you felt like you wish you could have a little bit more time to prepare. So I thought we were going to get that this year, and then we added that Tuesday game before our little weekend shootout. So it's sort of the same. We're going to have that quick turnaround. But again, I think it's going to be good, especially with now that you're able to practice here in the fall and doing all that type of stuff. It's going to be good to get that game in. We got to go get that shootout, then we got another game, then we got another shootout. So we're going to have 6 games in the first 2 weeks. So that'll be a good barometer for where we're at and what we need to work on as we keep moving forward.
Well, and I think both you as a coaching staff, the players, and especially the fans, because I saw toward the end of last season as the COVID was waning a little bit, we were starting to get a little better crowds, we were starting to get more enthusiasm, and it started to really feel like a basketball season.
Yeah, you go out to the football games now and you see the stands and they're packed. You just love seeing that atmosphere, and I think that's what's going to be fun and exciting for the players, just to get back and see that atmosphere again.
Well, in addition to the schedule, let's talk about the Hoosier Crossroad Conference. I have maintained for years that I think top to bottom, regardless of the sport, the Hoosier Crossroad Conference is one of the best in the state of Indiana. And as per usual, it looks like all 8 teams are going to be pretty competitive this year in the conference.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I mean, you every year, I mean, you're going to come out there, and if you don't show up, if you're not playing your best game, you're probably coming away with an L. So, I mean, I think that's, and there's been some few changes, but I mean, of course, I think you got to start off with Noblesville and who they have, and with Shade being their leader, they've got more than her. But I mean, they're gonna be the front runner. But I mean, it's going to be a battle every night come conference time.
Then we get to the sectional, and once again, you know, I kind of divided this up into 3 sections here, but it seems like the schedule is tough, the conference is tough, and the sectional is even tougher.
Well, that's because a lot of our conference is in our sectional.
Yeah.
I mean, that's in the county schools, which we play all the time, and I think that's going to be, I mean, you think about it as if you go down each one of those teams, I mean, each one of them has a Division I player, if not more than one player on it. And that was the one thing as you look at it, I mean, there is not going to be an easy draw this year. I mean, you're going to have to come out and you're going to compete. I mean, if you get in that situation where you got to win 3 games in 1 week in this sectional, it's going to be really tough.
What's the biggest surprise you've had changing from the boys to the girls side?
Probably the more pleasurable thing is I think they listen a lot better. I mean, that's the one thing is when you give their instructions that they're really trying to get out there.
Well, that's good.
There and please and just get out there and go. But to be honest with you, there's not a whole lot of difference. I mean, I think the biggest thing is you're out there, you're wanting to coach, you're wanting to challenge them, and you're just trying to improve your team and improve them individually so they can try and reach our goals, reach their goals. I know we've got a lot of girls that have aspirations to go play at the next level, and we're just trying to get them ready to be able to make an impact when they get that opportunity.
Well, Coach, wish you good luck this season. Good luck with your new coaching endeavor, and we thank you for the time today. For the Hamilton County Television Sports Show, I'm Brad Silbert. Good day.